Fort Mellon, of course, was the furthest south that steamships could get along the St. Johns River back in 1837 when General Jessup was trying to advance against the Seminoles. The battle at Camp Monroe takes place along the shore of Lake Monroe as the U.S. soldiers are building Fort Mellon. There is one death on the United States side, and that is Captain Charles Mellon, who the fort is named after. He is buried, according to the accounts, pretty much where he fell, underneath a large tree, essentially along what we would think of as the west wall of what became Fort Mellon, so right in here somewhere. He's buried there, and according to the accounts of the day, particularly ones by a surgeon whose name is Mott, he serves at Fort Mellon for a couple of years. There are many deaths at Fort Mellon, at least 21, and they're all buried in the cemetery that pops up. Now, in 1842, when the Second Seminole War ends, Captain Mellon, because he was a battlefield death, he is exhumed, at least he's supposed to be. According to the U.S. Army, he's exhumed, and he's taken up to St. Augustine. And so he and the 400 other battlefield dead that we know from the Second Seminole War, they're all interred underneath 3 pyramids at the National Guard Cemetery in St. Augustine. But the remainder wouldn't have been dug up. They would have remained in a cemetery on Fort Mellon. The problem is that we don't know where the cemetery is. So Fort Mellon took up a vast tract of land. We know it would probably have been in the west wall. This right here is where the Mayfair Inn is. So somewhere in this area, there is a lost cemetery of U.S. soldiers from the Second Seminole War, and we don't know where they are. This has led, of course, to a lot of ghost stories and speculation, particularly in the Mayfair Inn. We have some accounts in there of poltergeist-like activity in the eastern wing, closer to where the cemetery would be and where the worst fighting of the Battle at Camp Monroe took place. There is one account of the piano in the main hall playing itself. That's another example of how these ghost stories can evolve from very real and strange beginnings where we lost an entire cemetery, and now the ghosts might be seeking recognition.